Welcome back to Let's Talk Boobs. This is round 3 of Hard on You Conversations. I'm your host, Boobs Blanton. This is my co-host, Heine. Now we're kind of into, you've been dating this person for quite some time, conversations. Oh, but I did forget. See, we've been drinking a little bit, so now we're in our 3rd round. We have to do our cheers. It's long walks and awkward talks lead to overthinking and too much drinking. Yummy. That is not as good as the fire in the hole. Let me tell you, the Boilermakers.
I'm about Boilermaid. If it's a Boilermaker, I am Boilermaid.
Yeah, we are definitely Boilermaid at this point. So now you've
Look at these eyes.
You've dated this person for a long time. Now there's the conversation of, oh, now you're bored. You were talking to me about the 7-year itch. And in my marriage, like, we were getting bored and not necessarily bored, but we just wanted to explore more new things with each other together. And we started experiencing things that we'd never experienced on our own. And together we were just like, oh, that sounds fun.
As?
So I was talking to, he wasn't my husband at the time, so I was talking to him and I was like, I really just love the porn where there's like the chick fucking the dude and then all the frat brothers are just around watching. I was like,
the voyeur sort of like that
porn, and I was like, he's like, I really fucking love that too, and I was like, I would really just like somebody to.
So an attention hound is what you would say you are. You like to be the center of attention.
If you don't know me by now, then yes.
If you don't know me by
round
now.
3, guys, round 3. God damn it. So, anyways, So I started talking to him I told him about that I love to be watching. I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind like having sex in front of another couple. I think that'd be fucking super hot. They watch us, we watch them. It's just, I just think it's hot. And I just happened to meet this couple because in college I used to like jacuzzi hop to all of my friends' neighborhoods. And I met this couple. Turns out they lived in our same apartment complex, but we were just jacuzzi hopping to the same apartment complex. And like I said, I'm very open about sex, and we just started talking about it. And they're like, oh, yeah, we have threesomes, and we do that all the time. And so I had told my boyfriend at the time, and he was just like, I was like, let's go over and have dinner one night. And then all of a sudden, like, I just leaned over for a long kiss to him when we were over there having dinner, and I wasn't, like, doing it for any reason. I was just giving him a kiss. And then she jumps on him, and I was like, oh, we're doing this tonight. And we did it. And then we invented the game Strip Sorry because of it. And it just became a thing. And then we just kind of grew from there. So it's kind of nice that if you can grow and do new stuff and you enjoy it together, that's fun, because like dating somebody for the rest of your life, you have to switch it up.
Well, I don't think it actually is dating somebody for the rest of your life.
Well, being with someone for the rest of your life, I just think you need to switch it up. You always have to find new ways, because if you're just doing missionary for 50 years, then...
But I think that's the key, is that if you think that it's going to survive that initial, like you are dating somebody for the rest of your life, I think that if it felt that way, people would be cool with that. But it's not. It's like you get to that point where there's a...
wall.
Not necessarily a wall, but there's
a plateau.
There's a plateau of where you've reached the end of dating.
Yeah.
And now are you comfortable with the mundane lifestyle of what would be a full-time one-on-one relationship?
Yeah, this could be fun. And even if you are, you can try new things that you are interested in. That's where the conversation with like, because there's fetishes that I had that I didn't even know. And so I just kind of learned that I like them. Like, I never thought, because, like, I'm not a jealous person at all. Like, at all. But in the beginning, I could never think, I just tried to picture my significant other with somebody, and it just pissed me off. And I was like, no, I could never do that. And then we started experimenting, and, I grew less and less jealous in that area. And so it just kind of, you grow as a person. And like you said, even when you're older, like dating somebody now when I'm in my mid 30s and you're in your mid 40s, it's completely different from when you started dating in your early 20s. So you learn who you are as a person sexually, emotionally, mentally, intellectually, period. And that's,
well, I think the things that are important to you change.
Yeah.
Like the things that are important to a 20-year-old are not important to a 30-year-old, or not important to a 40-year-old. So they look at each other as their priority. And not to say that their priorities are wrong, but I think that you're in your 40s, you look at somebody and you're like, well, you could misconstrue their priorities as being wrong because you're just not in their state of life anymore.
Well, and it's also and if you're in a relationship, it's how you grow together. And if you can't grow together in the same ways, then that's where you split. There's also the conversation on like in-laws. And so me and my family, like, I can sit here and talk comfortably about sex and like, well, maybe not comfortably, but we are very outspoken about talking about sex. And we might be like, we don't want to hear about it. But I'm just like, oh, mom, da-da-da-da. And then I finally asked my sister, I was like, sis, I'm a squirter. Are you a squirter? I want to know. Is it like genetic?
That was just a conversation you've had?
I have had this conversation.
And is she?
And she is. And I was like, and then we got in the conversation. I'm like, oh, what if Meemaw's a squirter? We didn't. We're like, all right, we don't want to think about this. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop. And
so if any of you people out there know Meemaw, you let the show know if she's a squirter? Or let me know.
Meemaw's daughters, I'm sorry about that comment. Just erase it from your mind. And so
I didn't know that Meemaw's daughters were watching. You gotta warn me.
At least one of them are. Sorry about that. And so
so can you let us know? Have you talked to your mom?
But you know me, I'm a very open person and I apologize. Anyways. And so but my husband's family is not like that at all. So, like, when he comes home to my family and we just, like, openly talk about... Because the first time, like, me and my husband had sex was in the closet. Because, like, we didn't want the bed to squeak. So we had sex in the closet. But then, like, it's connected to, like, my brother's room. So he could hear us. And then mom's like, well, where are y'all having sex? I didn't hear anything. I was like, in the closet. And she's...
I don't even know how I feel about this.
And so she's just like, you guys have just had sex everywhere. But we're very open about it. Or my husband is just sitting there like...
He doesn't want to deal with it at all. I wouldn't either.
He's like, really? You guys just openly talk about this? And I'm like, yeah. Because his family is not at all.
Was your brother like, would you guys quit doing it in the closet? Because I'm the only one that can hear it.
He just mentioned, he's like, I heard some bumping in the night last night in the closet area.
Is this what the R. Kelly song's about? In the closet?
Yep, pretty much. And so, I
don't think so at all, but okay.
I don't know that song, so I was just agreeing.
Pretty sure it's about.
I only know
peeing on young ladies.
Oh, I thought I only know the Chappelle version of "I wanna piss on you, let me pee on you, you know it's true." Ooh. So, there's also the conversation, and this can be in any step of the relationship. Like you have a one night stand, you weren't smart about it. You're planning, you're not planning. The pregnancy conversation.
I've had this one a couple of times.
I've had before and I was using condoms.
Yeah, me too.
But I had a scare, but then I didn't realize I had endometriosis. I mean, I've had endometriosis like since 7th grade. I've always had irregular periods. I had periods every 2 weeks, for 2 weeks. Sorry, period talk, blah. And so I don't ever like mark my calendar. Like sometimes I'm like, fuck, it's been a long time since I've had a period. I'm just like, maybe it should come sometime soon, whatever.
But I think that I'm a firm believer in using some sort of protection, and it doesn't matter. It's like you go a week where your girlfriend's late, and you're automatically like, I wonder if that condom ripped. Yeah, and like it's like there's no positive. Like you don't feel like fucking. I was wearing condoms. Like those condoms were 100% immediately.
No,
like every time a girl's like, "Hey, I'm late on my period," I'm like,
"Yeah, your heart."
I have no confidence in the fucking percentage of fucking workability out of the fucking condom.
I love when a guy's like, I don't have any condoms. I can pull out. I'm not trying to get you pregnant. I was like, condoms aren't just for pregnancy, you jackass. Like, they are to prevent some STDs.
And all I gotta say is, I got a couple friends that think they're pull-out kings too, and they have multiple children.
Well,
multiple children.
And this is why, because I have endometriosis, the pull-out methods worked for years. But then as soon as it was in there, no condom planned, pregnant immediately. But I also had 2 miscarriages, and it was really hard for us to get pregnant. I mean, we got pregnant, but they didn't last. So, but people were surprised that I even got pregnant. And so, but I had planned those. There's only been one scare where I was like, I'm a little late, but I didn't realize about endometriosis until I was in college when a male doctor of all doctors was like, you have all these cysts burst. I don't think you have polycystic ovarian cancer. He's like, you should probably go check out and see if you have.
I think it depends too on your level of I don't know if it's insecurity, like hypersensitivity. Like I've known girls that be like, I'm late. I'm like, how long? I'm like, when were you? Like yesterday. I'm like, 24 hours.
But there are also girls who are like on the day every day. But my period, even if it is consistent, it starts on the last day of my last period. So it's always a week off.
So I think the thing that gets me is I never like, what days are you starting? What days aren't you starting? So when they're like, I'm late, I'm like, I'm assuming weeks.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh no, it was supposed to start 6 hours ago. I'm like, what? No, wait.
But there's also like the chance that you've like changed jobs and then you're working with all women and then you're all starting to slowly sync up, because I've had periods where like I just had a period 2 weeks ago and like I'm now working with all these women and like they all started their period and in 2 weeks I've started
now
my
you
period.
synced up. You definitely synced up.
Fuck you, bitches.
Yeah, men sync up piss cycles.
I'm sorry, what?
Like when you watch, watch sports together. Hey, you guys out there, fucking respond. Be like, look, every time I watch fucking sports with my homie, we always got to piss at the same time.
I don't believe that at all.
No, it's psychological.
Well, I mean, because if you're sitting there and watching the TV, and one person's like, finally, like, you know what? I've got to get up and use the bathroom. And everybody,
as long as you're drinking,
everybody consciously comes into consciousness and they're like, you know what? I've been sitting here for 30 minutes drinking 7 beers.
That's not true. I'm just making up some bullshit.
I know. You're a liar. I was just trying to give you logic to make you feel better because I'm your friend.
I'm just saying, if you drink beer at the same speed as somebody else, you might have to pee at the same time somebody else does.
That's very true. Very true. But you don't think of it being.
What is this thing called? It is delicious.
Fire in the hole. It's like
I feel like I should be pouring it. I feel like I should be pouring it into my bowl.
When you have these hard conversations, it's like a grenade, or it could be a grenade. So you just take out the pen, fire in the hole. Definitely could be a grenade. Heine insisted on putting tamales in there, and now they're no longer red. They're just clear.
They look so weird.
Clear gelatinous.
Gelatinous.
Oh, that's gross. I'm sorry y'all had to watch that.
Oh, it is so sticky.
So also...
it's disgusting.
Gross. So also there's their conversation. So if you get to that point and you're comfortable with your partner, if you go this way, most people don't. Because I am a swinger, or in my past relationship I was. And I would like to be in my future relationships.
All you guys that are listening out there.
Shut up. So, well, if you're with somebody for a long time and you want to spice things up.
This is so disgusting. I'm going to spit it out. I'm going to know where to spit it out. Nope,
you have to endure it. You're the one that wanted it in there.
It's just melting.
Nope, just swallow. Just swallow, Heine. Just swallow it. So... if you're at that point and you're with a significant other and you are with that person for a while, and how do you have the conversation like, maybe we should involve another person?
I don't know.
So how we did it is we'd had sex in front of other people, and we're just like, and I would make out with the girl. And, I wouldn't be involved with the guy. The guys wouldn't be involved with each other. And then I would just make out with the chick.
You mean the guys would not be involved with each other?
No, I'm not into that. There are girls that just love to see, like, gay men make out.
That would freak me out.
I'm not disgusted by it or anything like that. It just doesn't turn me
Oh
on.
no,
It doesn't turn me on. Like there are my friend, one of my good friends, she thinks it is so hot to see two men make out. To me, it doesn't turn me on. It's not for me. I don't think it's hot for two chicks to make out, but I enjoy making out with a chick. So it just depends on your.
all I can say is it is so fucking gummy in my mouth right now. I can't even think about nothing else.
So, but we just kind of, I don't know, we kind of talked about it and we're just like, you know, and then the more and more we played strip sorry or like had sex in front of each other, the more and more involved me and the woman got.
Explain strips. I'm not sure.
Okay, so strip sorry is a game I invented in college.
Sorry. What's the basic rules of sorry?
Anytime you sorry somebody, which you take one of your pawns out of home, and you bump somebody else, which you want to try to bump somebody else closest to your homes because it's just a better strategy move. And then so anytime you sorry, and then that sends them back to their home, and they have to start all over. So anytime you sorry somebody, or you switch, I think 11 is switch. You switch with somebody. Or anytime you land on their spot and you bump them and you send them back to home, you have to strip. We got to the point where, you know, we'd gotten a little involved, and me and the other girl would do more and more each time. And then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I actually like doing things with girls, but I still have to be in a drunk mindset. However, like, I was never the person where I was like, I would date a chick. Because, no offense, ladies, chicks are crazy. I'm a guy's gal. I love dudes. I just could never date a chick. But I met a chick. There's only been 2 chicks in my life that I was like, you know what? I could fucking date them. They were cool as shit. So that's what makes me think that I'm more bisexual than hetero-curious, than like the drunk white girl that just makes out with people and does things when I'm drunk. Because I've had feelings for a couple girls that I could date, and that's when I realized, okay, maybe I am a little bit more bisexual. But there's only been 2. It takes a really special girl for me to have feelings for you that I could possibly date you, but you'd still have to be like open and in a swinging atmosphere. Which one of the girls was completely lesbian, would have never worked out. The other girl, same as me. So. And she actually moved here, so maybe that'll happen. But anyways, so that's a conversation, like, because some people get really, really jealous, so they don't want to, like, one or the other might get really, really jealous and involving another person and bringing somebody else in, and they go off and they date that other person. But if you're comfortable with your significant other and, like, you just want it for fun, because that's how it was for me. Like, I didn't care about that person emotionally at all. Like, we just wanted it for fun. We cared about them for friends or whatever, her or whatever. But it was never about, like, an intellectual connection. It was always like, we're all friends. Let's just have fun tonight. And so, you know, I don't know how you have that. We just kind of eased into it. We're just like, what do you think? But you have to have trust in that person. So this is the end of round 3. We're a little saucy. I hope you enjoyed it. Hard on you conversations. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Let's Talk Boobs, that you're watching now. And like, share, comment on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat.